Hi ladies, good morning. I wanted to do a quick video review today of Imse Vimse organic cotton cloth pads. These pads are readily available on Amazon and the shipping was so fast. These are actually the very first cloth pads that I tried. So I even though these are not the ones that I use the most now, these are just excellent quality and feel, and so I think they deserve a little attention. So I wanted to show you these. When I first found out about cloth pads, I never knew they even existed until recently, earlier this year, and I found out about Luna pads, and I actually did order some things from Luna pads, mostly just panty liners and some of their Luna panties. But their pads are rather expensive, and I didn't know how I would feel about that rickrack band going across the pad and the inserts and all that. So I just stuck with panty liners and from Luna pads, and I was going to use my cup primarily. But I did start to become concerned about using my cup overnight. I just wasn't sure if that was going to work out well. If it would be comfortable. So I started looking around for some overnight pads, and as I said, Luna pads are excellent, but quite expensive. So I got on Amazon, and I was looking for some overnight cloth pads. Once I knew that such a thing existed, I was really surprised at how many options there are on Amazon. Glad rags, which I have not tried. Those are on Amazon, and also some other cloth pads called Skoon, Skoon, which is actually the same brand as the cup, the menstrual cup that I use, but I did not try those cloth pads either. I read all the reviews. I'm that person who takes the time to read every single comment on every review, so that I really get the full picture before I buy anything. And so I read all the reviews, and the Imse Vimse seemed the best. Of course, there were some negative comments, but overall, they seemed to have the best reviews. And the price was very reasonable, I thought. These overnight pads were a 3-pack for $22.05. So that works out to be $7.35 per pad. These panty liners were $14.75 for the 3-pack, and that works out to be only $4.90 per panty liner. And actually, it says panty liner, but these actually are quite absorbent. They're really about the same, well, maybe just slightly thinner than the overnight pad, but with the same construction. It's got waterproofing in there, and it's got what feels like several layers of absorbency. So panty liners, or these could actually be mini pads. So I ordered these. I ordered the overnights just because I was concerned about using my cup at night. But I decided to go ahead and grab some panty liners too, because I thought it wouldn't hurt to have a few extras. I had a set from Luna pads already, 7 panty liners, but I thought it wouldn't hurt to have a few extras, so I would have 10. These came during my period. It just could not have worked out better, and the shipping was so fast. These are not actually fulfilled by Amazon. The seller is called Monkey Buttons, and they have all the Imse Vimse products, including the stain stick, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the shipping was just unbelievably fast. I could not get over it. I think it was actually only 2 days after I placed the order. 2 days later, it was in my mailbox, and I was astounded. But the timing couldn't have worked out better because I'd actually just started my period. So these came while I had my period, and so I used them I did run them through the wash first. I always do that, even though they were brand new. I just always do that, and use them right away. These things are so comfortable. This organic cotton is just so soft, and the camera just won't do it justice. It just feels so nice. I mean, all cloth pads feel nice. You know, they all feel much better than disposables, but this cotton is just so soft. These are really comfortable to wear. I started with these for overnight, and they worked well. I no problems at all. They absorbed everything, and I actually found during that period, I actually found that wearing the pads was actually more comfortable to me than using the cup. Now, I know there's a learning curve with the cup, and it does take some getting used to. But I was having some discomfort, even though I felt certain that it was inserted properly. You know, I was not having any leaks, and I couldn't feel it while it was in. I was having slightly more cramps. And I have a problem with heavy cramping anyway. That's just something that I struggle with. But I was noticing when the cup was in that the cramps were increasing. So I found that it was actually more comfortable to wear the cloth pad, which really surprised me because my plan when I first got started with all this was just to use the cup as much as possible. But these pads were really comfortable. And even though this is really huge, and this is 13 inches for the overnight pad, and that really was that's really too big of a pad to wear out during the day. But because this is all I had at the time, I didn't have any other cloth pads. I did wear this during the day, and it's thin. There are actually some other cloth pads on Etsy that are just a bit thinner, but this is quite thin, and it conforms really well. And this cotton is just so unbelievably soft. So I did wear these some during the day when I was out, and it was not a problem at all. Because these were the only pads that I had during that period, I washed them as I used them, and hung them up to dry overnight and use them again the next day. So these all have been used, quite a bit and washed quite a bit, and amazingly, there was not any problem with staining. I was worried since they were white and organic and all that they would stain. There's only one pad, and I won't really show you. There's one pad of all of these that did take a small stain, and it's almost out. I've worked on it a couple times. It's almost gone, but just a very mild stain. But these others are just clean as can be. I was so impressed with these that even though I shortly afterwards discovered Etsy and started ordering like crazy from Etsy, I really like these so much that I actually went back to Amazon and I actually ordered a set of the regular daytime pads just for completion's sake, so that I actually now have a full set of these. And I actually will wear these occasionally. I enjoy the pretty prints much more, and I'll show you in a minute in comparison. But these are so comfortable that I actually will wear these occasionally. Now I also bought the stain stick, the Imse Vimse brand. It was $9.75, and this thing is huge. I mean, it's going to last forever as a stain stick, and it smells really nice. Now, the ingredients are supposedly all natural, according to everything I read and heard about this. It's supposedly all natural, but it smells so strong that I suspect that there's some kind of perfume in it. Now it does have lemon and citrus. It has some citrus smells, which would give it a rather strong, overpowering scent. And it is a nice, fresh, clean scent. So it could be just the lemon and citrus that are causing that, but it just has a very strong smell. It's a pleasant smell. It's just so strong that it's just hard for me to believe that it's all natural. I smell this every time I walk in the bathroom. I leave it in the bathroom where I clean my pads, but I just leave it sitting out like this, and I smell it every time I walk in. And it is a pleasant smell, so I don't mind. This, like I said, is going to last forever because what I do, I just use a toothbrush that I have marked for cleaning so that nobody accidentally tries to use it. But I keep it separately from our other toothbrushes. I keep it only with the cleaning supplies. But I just get a little off the top of this. I wet the toothbrush and just get a little off the top and work it into the pads, like the stains. So it's going to last a long time. I don't foresee needing to buy another one for quite a while. Like I said, it was under $10. So you might want to consider trying this. It's a pretty good buy. Now, let me show you just in comparison. These pads are for all the wonderful things about them. And let me show you real quickly a couple of features that I did enjoy. These do have a waterproof lining. I don't remember if it's PUL, but there's a layer in here that makes them waterproof. But you can't really feel it until you wash it, and then you can kind of feel it back there. These have two snaps, so there are two different widths, and I like that they came automatically with two snaps. Some of the Etsy shops sell a second snap option, but I like that these already have the adjustable width. So that was a nice feature. They are really well made. I mean, just really tough because I have scrubbed them. I have scrubbed these a lot, and there's really no sign of wear. The prices were great. Like I said, let me just go through the prices again. This panty liner is $4.90 per liner, and like I said, these are thick enough. These could also be just a pad, a mini pad. The regular pads are $5.92 a piece, and the overnight pads were $7.35 a piece. So those prices are actually much better than, slightly better. Those are slightly better than most of the Etsy prices that I've found so far. But let me show you in comparison some of the cloth pads that I'm using, the patterned cloth pads that I'm using that I ordered from Etsy. In comparison, some liners, some regular pads, and an overnight pad. So I just wanted to sort of show you the side-by-side comparison. Now, most of the panty liners that I bought from Etsy ranged between $5 and $7 compared to less than $5 for Imse Vimse. Most of the regular pads that I bought from Etsy range between $6 and $10 compared to $5.92 for Imse Vimse. And then most of the overnight pads that I bought on Etsy ranged between $8 and $12 a piece, compared to Imse Vimse was only $7.35. So they are more affordable than most of the Etsy options that I have found so far. I know there are endless options on Etsy, but just as far as experience goes, even though I like these Imse Vimse pads, when I have a choice in the morning to put on this or to put on this, there's no question in my mind. Of course I want to wear this. It's just so much more fun. It just really brightens my day. So these patterned pads. You know, I really enjoy so much the variety of styles and patterns and, you know, materials and thicknesses and shape and there's just so much variety, and I really enjoy that. I have just such a pleasant experience of my period, getting to wear all these pretty pads, and this overnight pad is just it's my favorite. It's just so much fun. You know, it makes just makes the difference. You know, it's just having that bit of fun and whimsy just really makes having the period you know, a better experience. So there is something to be said for that. You know, even though these Imse Vimse are very practical, very affordable, there is something to be said for, you know, for having fun. So, so just keep that in mind. But Imse Vimse are definitely worth a look. I am glad that I have these. I have no regrets at all about having these in my collection. So there you have it, ladies. I hope this information was helpful. And until next time, take care. Bye.